It is the Riot Podcast, the Welcome to the Weekend edition.
Woohoo!
Hey.
Woo, baby, it's Friday.
Yes, and Isaiah, I don't know if you can tell, Isaiah is feeling good today.
I'm feeling great.
He
The
had a lot
question
of.
is what happened, which we cover in the podcast.
Yes, we'll get to the results in the podcast, but obviously he's here, so something positive.
I know, I kept thinking.
Yes.
Positive in a negative sense.
Yeah.
I actually thought last night, right when I was going to bed, I stayed up a little later because it was Thursday and I didn't want to go to bed.
Yeah.
So it was like 11:30, and I'm like, well, I haven't heard from Isaiah.
Yep, I thought the
Yeah.
same thing. I
he's
thought the
coming in
same
tomorrow.
thing.
Well, the Browns won last
I
night around
actually-
11:15, so that's when I was like, okay, going in tomorrow.
We would have known by then.
I did check. I never check my work email at home, and I checked it to make sure before I went to bed. I was like, "Is Isaiah going to be in?"
Yes,
you guys
he's
really
sick.
like me,
Well,
huh?
it was
Look you there.
We do. But second, I thought, if he had COVID, it's going to be like a really long thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
That was the whole rule. Like one
That's what I
day
was
we
thinking.
can make do, but a longer amount of time. Even though you've been sick for a while, so I was like, well, how many days does that equal?
Yeah.
Carry
Is he
the
close?
two, like all this stuff. So I'm glad that Isaiah's back in and feeling better. But see what happens soon.
The all the events that took place to make him feel better.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about that. We also talked about a survey. I thought that was pretty interesting. Don't know if I fully believe it or not, but that men cry more than women.
Oh yeah, what's your
cry a
number
lot?
for crying?
I'm not much of a crier, but the average for men, it says was 4 times a month, which I felt was high, but also then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know if it's like a crier, like you could easily get choked up, like Nikki kind of talked about, like on like a TikTok video, or like an Instagram post or something. So like that could be like an easy cry. I definitely don't cry 4 times a month, but I'm surprised that the females don't cry more, just because Carly will like send me things and be like, this literally made me cry. And I'll watch the video and I'll be like, this literally made you cry.
Yes.
I think that the women's number should have been higher, but then I also think if you guys cry a little bit more. But I think you have to have tears come out in order for it to
You
really
need tears
count.
to
What do you
count.
think,
So
Isaiah?
getting
Because
choked
for
up
me,
to me isn't quite the same.
I don't think that there's TikToks that will really make me cry generally.
Yeah.
I'll share them
But
with you now on.
I do, but there are times where I feel like I could cry, but I just can't.
Choose not to.
No, I don't choose not to. I can't cry. And so that's what I'm asking
What?
you.
Are
Do
your tear
you-
ducts hurt? Or what's wrong?
No, it just not like as sad as I am, it just doesn't elicit tears. It
Everybody's
doesn't elicit
different.
weeping. It's just, I don't know, in my mind, I'm sad or I'm upset, I'm emotional, but I don't actually elicit tears.
See, I have a good cry to where I feel sick after. Like you feel like you don't feel well because your body was so emotional for
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And
After
and
I
you're
come
just
home
like,
from
that's
this
okay.
show,
That's
Yeah. After I finish the final episode, tears come. No, for me, like I'm kind of similar. But I feel like I can choose. Like if I'm like a fringe tear up, I can be like, okay, do I want to cry over this or no? And I'm just
is
like,
it one
no.
of your 4 times?
Yeah, one of like the 3 times.
you
maybe.
gotta make sure you don't go over the quota.
Yes. So we talked about that. We also talked about a fantastic deal going on at Kroger's that if you haven't stopped by there yet, you probably are going to want to because.
And if you're going, can you get Isaiah some?
Yeah,
and
it's a
pay it back?
If the
Yes.
deal doesn't appeal to you, just pick some up for Isaiah.
Drop them off here at RadioU, and the whole crew will chow down on some good food. We talked about that. We also talked about a little bit of football for this weekend. I came in today pretty happy because the Browns got a victory last night.
Right.
And we talked about this upcoming weekend and that there isn't a ton going on football-wise, but
It's not going to stop us from watching.
exactly.
It's
We're
just-
still going to spend Saturday doing it
Yeah.
and possibly some good food, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. But probably not with candy corn involved.
Oh, did you put that
No.
in there?
That should be
That's in there,
Okay,
yeah.
we talk about what can you put candy corn in?
Yes, that
And
was...
Nikki was surprisingly supportive of this
You were
idea.
I didn't get to hear that one. You were supportive of that?
I hate candy corn,
I do
but if you
too.
gotta use it up somehow,
I
you
guess
might
you
as
don't
well
have to
be
use it up.
creative. You could
You-
throw it away.
I
Yeah,
just
you could
feel like
you could do
the-
it that, or you could turn it into a candle,
The
which is really what it's made for.
A candle.
Can you burn candy corn
Why not?
with a wick?
If,
John
if
Wick?
there was enough,
John
if there
Wick?
was enough of it, I think it was big
bet the
enough.
consistency would be so weird.
Oh.
Like in that, and what it's inside of, it'd be so weird.
Sugar is, as far as the fire goes, sugar is highly flammable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess it'll all burn.
It might be dangerous to burn the candy corn, actually.
You don't need a wick. The candle is the whole burning
Yeah.
thing.
Yes. And we wrapped up the whole thing by talking with Hudson about one of his biggest complaints about a state that he lives in.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
You guys got yelly.
Well, Hudson got all worked up.
It makes me upset.
He got all
It makes
worked
me
up.
upset, and nobody
Is on your
nobody wants to
side.
be reasonable.
It was
Nobody
just
wants to be on my
crazy.
side. It's almost like they don't understand the origins of life and aviation and how they intertwine.
Well, listen to the podcast, get some info on aviation and how babies are born.
Yes.
So you'll get all that.
We break the whole thing down for you.
Yeah, I've laid it all out. I think my argument is airtight.
I don't know.
And all the responses seem to not understand it. So
Well,
Oddly enough.
enjoy the podcast today. We're off to do an after show. So when you're done with this podcast, if you head over to RadioU Riot on Facebook and our YouTube channel, you should be subscribed there. And make sure you watch the video. You like the video, not just like personally, but like you hit the like button, physically like the actual
give it
event.
a big thumbs up.
And make sure to share it too. But enjoy the podcast, and we'll go do an after show with some new cereals.
See you later.
Bye.
Store at room temperature? Now that they can do. The Riot Radio U.
I don't know if we filled everybody completely in yesterday, but Isaiah has been feeling sick
Little under the weather.
for a little while, and he finally let us know yesterday that he was going to actually go to the doctor for real.
For once. I hadn't been in like 7 years.
And you're going to a minute clinic.
Just like a little guy, nothing serious.
Just a little walk-in.
Just a little thing. My throat was really bothering me heavy. I just wasn't feeling good at all. My throat was in some serious pain to the point where I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I need something.
Well,
It had been a while.
It had been a long time. It's been going on for like a week or so of just serious throat pain. And that doesn't really go well with talking on the radio, oddly
Sure.
enough.
no, definitely not.
Now,
But
we were teasing you because it seems like
Yes.
since you've not gone to the doctor, like you didn't even think you'd had a strep test before. And I
No.
was worried you'd have to take a COVID test too. Like you'd
Yeah.
have to get it all done.
I was really nervous going in. They were going to just poke me with everything everywhere. But I actually didn't even have to get a COVID test, which was
What?
awesome.
What?
Which
That's
was
disappointing.
I
awesome.
wanted him to.
yeah, come on.
She asked me if I wanted it. I said no. My throat hurts. Like, it's just my throat is the only thing that's painful.
It can
And
still be a symptom.
could.
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
no
It
one was
could.
sure.
You can
I
never
had to
be
go
too
through all of
careful.
them. I had
Did
to
you
go
take
through
a
so
strep
many.
test?
I did take the strep test. Tested negative.
Yeah.
Don't have it. I mean, I'm obviously I'm in here, but she just she looked at my throat and she was like, "Oh, you have some sort of viral thing." I don't know. I had something, and so she gave me some sort of like prescription thing or whatever.
Antibiotic.
Yeah, some sort of antibiotic. And I woke up this morning. I feel like a sparkler on the 4th of July. I'm shot out of a cannon, baby. I'm feeling good. She gave me this like some sort of throat gargle thing to go along with like the antibiotic, and it's incredible. I used it last night and this morning, and it like numbs the mouth.
Yeah.
Both times I've almost thrown up because it tastes so terrible. But there's nothing that'll wake you up at 5 a.m. in the morning like almost throwing up.
Oh, wow.
Dude, don't save that stuff.
I
man.
know, it's
Don't-
good. I
don't
might
get
just
rid
start
of
hitting it
that.
every morning. Even when my throat's not hurting, it just numbs the entire mouth. Almost makes me puke. I'm feeling good today.
Wow.
Wow,
So-
I thought you had a sparkle and just a pep in your step.
I
I'm
can
feeling
hear
good.
it. I can hear it. So you have some viral something.
Yeah, something's going on in my throat. I don't
Is
know
it-
exactly what
Good.
it is.
Go over there
Is
and
it
get closer.
Contagious.
We can't be sure. I mean, I didn't ask questions like that.
Why
She
did
asked.
you ask that?
Well, I just didn't think it was like all that important. Like we've been together
It is
now
important.
for a long time. Like it's been going on since like last
Actually,
Friday. So
I will probably say, and I think she's fine with it, but Sydney had this last week.
She gave
So
it to me.
I think Sydney gave it to you,
Ooh.
and I think we would have gotten it from Sydney too. I think you and
Immune.
I, Hudson, something's working right with us.
Yes.
We're not
We
getting
have
these
built
things.
up such an immunity to
Yes.
everything. Yeah. No, you and I both, I think we're notorious for not taking sick days. So we're still going to be here. We're going
All
to.
right, well, you stay there, Isaiah,
Yeah.
but don't
Oh,
come
yeah.
closer.
I
But
mean, I'm feeling good.
Bring in the rinse, though. That
I
sounds
know. I'm telling you,
interesting.
if you guys would have hit this thing this morning, it was incredible. It like numbs the entire mouth. My entire throat was numb this morning driving in. I was so awake. It was incredible.
Aw, I'm glad
there
you're feeling
was
better.
two ways that it could have gone. Either you would have had to take a bunch of tests and maybe a COVID test, and hey, who knows, maybe something would be negative, positive, whatever. But it would have been entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
But things would have gone wrong. Or you get your problem solved, and then you're sounding better, and that's
You're feeling
another.
better.
So either way, it was a win-win. You going to the doctor and I guess we won.
I just did want you to come back and say you had to go through like 18 tests.
Yeah.
They're like, sir, we've seen you not been in the doctors before for a while, so you got to get these shots.
You gotta get all this stuff. You're actually like 4 shots behind on these vaccinations and shots. You haven't gotten a flu shot in 3 years.
I kind of wanted you to come back with that story.
No, I didn't get poked, but there's nothing better than going to the doctor and you just walking in there and just feeling so dumb.
Yeah.
She asks you so many questions, and of course I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. She's like, when did you first start feeling symptoms? I was like, I don't know, like mid last week or so. She's like, have you had a runny nose? I'm like, well, probably along the way at some point. I haven't felt good for like a week and a half now. She's like, is your eyes hurt? And I was like, you know what? Now that you kind of say that, a little bit.
They start planting ideas in your head.
Yes.
They don't even realize. No, you're totally right on.
That's why you feel like you have to write it all down before you go in. You're like, let me get my sheet out.
It's like you're accounting a crime scene or something.
Literally. She asked me, she was like, do you have any pressure in your ears? And I was like, now that I think about it, I did. And then afterwards I was like, do my ears actually hurt, or is she just like planting these things into my mind?
You're like, let me call my mom and ask.
Let me ask her if I was experiencing ear pain. I didn't even think about that.
The way I would handle it is I would say no to everything, but then later on, after she gives you the results and gives you whatever the treatment is, like, wait a minute. I think I did. And you start thinking about things, and then it's like, what if she gave me the completely wrong medicine because I was wrong about the things I was feeling?
Yes, so that it covers everything just in case.
Yes.
Well, then you could get something like
What are they going to give you?
the strongest thing
What are they going to give you?
that like it tears out of your stomach and whatever.
It would have happened anyways. It's fine. Just make sure you follow the directions with food.
Yes. If you are experiencing ear pain, I've got this wonderful gargle for you.
People are like, psst, what is that stuff?
What is that gargle you've got? It's incredible. It wakes you up no matter what time it is.
We're glad you're feeling better if you want to spread that gargle around.
And Isaiah's glad that he's on the mend before the weekends.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the riot for free? Radio U.
You know that old saying, Nikki, boys don't cry, men don't cry.
Well, have we brought in Isaiah on board? You guys have mentioned like crying off air and like he won't cry and he's a man. So, I've heard that saying more since bringing Isaiah in.
Yeah.
He's a man. He's not crying.
I don't remember him saying that, but it sounds like something he would say.
It does. Usually with he's hasn't tried it, won't eat it.
Yeah, right. That's his catchphrase. For me, I was thinking I sometimes can get very sad to where I feel like I should cry, but I really don't.
Yeah, you just don't?
It's not that I never, ever cry in my life, but it's very, very rare, even when I have, you feel like you want to cry, but I can't. It's not that I stop myself. It's just I can't. It doesn't happen. Anyways.
Do you want to cry? Or not now, but I mean, like, do you want to learn how to?
I don't know. How would it change things?
Well, because sometimes you feel a little better, you get it out.
But I'm experiencing the emotion inside.
Mm-hmm. But it's bottled. The tears have to come out. That's the sadness.
But maybe I just don't make enough tears or something.
Maybe that's it. That's why I wasn't sure. Like, if you want to make sure physically something is not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I wonder about. But because apparently I'm not the norm. Isaiah and I, neither of us are actually in line with the rest of the male demographic, because a new survey has come out according to 2,004 Americans that they surveyed. Men cry more than women do.
On an average, 4 times a month.
4 times a month for men.
On the other hand, we cry about 3 times in a given month. 48 times a year for men, 36 times for women.
You believe that?
Oh, no, I cry more than that. And I think it depends on what they consider cry. Oh, yeah.
You cry 3 times a month.
No, I cried last night for like 15 minutes on a TikTok that I watched. You have no idea.
Yeah.
It depends on what do they count crying.
No, that counts.
That counts?
That definitely counts.
Oh, yeah. A little weep at the end of the day. Nothing wrong with that.
So wait, how often do you think then?
That I cry?
Yeah.
I would say I probably cry if you're including Facebook, YouTube, TikTok
Why would
videos.
that not count?
I'm just saying, if we're including that.
Yes, we do. We do include it.
Maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week.
What?
It's a pretty good cry.
How do you live?
What do you mean? What's wrong with that?
How can you...
And then if like someone
Doesn't
hurts
it
my
hurt you?
feelings.
Doesn't that hurt you?
Why would it weird.
I don't know.
It's just crying. Oh, sometimes like my nose will get stuffed up.
No, that's
and,
not
like,
what I mean.
You get a real big headache afterwards.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know how I could function having that much emotion swimming around inside my mind.
If you gave me a couple of minutes, I could bring up enough hurt feelings. I could cry right now.
You could make yourself cry? You'd be a good actor then?
It's not acting.
That's why I stayed out of acting, because I knew I wouldn't be able to cry on cue. I can barely cry for any reason. I sure can't cry on cue. So, yeah, I have a hard time believing this, and I don't know. 4 times a month is insane to me. I feel that
so low.
You feel low.
No, apparently, but that's not a big number.
No, 4 times. No, to me, I can't imagine. Like I said, I have the moments where I feel like I should cry. Mm-hmm. It's less than 4 a month.
Well, then we're different.
Yeah, I guess so. I have no emotion inside me at all, apparently.
No, it's
not sadness emotion or anything. I mean, when you cry, is it always because you're sad, or is there like another?
No, it's usually sad. Like, it's just, something really emotional to watch.
It's not the happy cry, or like the touching cry, a dog gets reunited with his military dad after the dad's been away.
It's usually the sad ones.
Yeah. That's what gets you.
And I can't cry about the other things because I'm too busy crying about the sad stuff. I have no more room left.
That's right. Wait, if you're crying that often on just sad things, we don't need to add any other cries in for you.
I was crying last night so hard I thought Eric was going to come up and ask what was wrong. So, don't feel bad if you cry more than what this is telling us that we are going to be crying.
See, that's another great point. Anytime, my wife will occasionally start crying at TikToks or something like that. Mm-hmm. And anytime she does, I say, what's wrong? Because that's so foreign to me.
Nope.
How could you cry at a TikTok?
Happens all the time.
Oh, my God.
And then what happens is you cry on one, and then you click like whatever the hashtag is, and you get in it more.
Oh, no.
And then you really cry.
Oh, no. It sounds like we might need to keep you off of TikTok.
Well, it's just, every so often.
Oh, wait. We need to discuss, to tease this out a little further. Was this going on before TikTok? Or is TikTok the reason you're crying?
Yeah, I'll cry a lot on like the animal videos. Yeah. So like those that pop up on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. So, but just the internet makes you cry there.
Pretty much.
So if we got you off the internet.
Animals and sad things and people dying. Yeah, that'll make me cry each time.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
The Cleveland Browns defeated the Denver Broncos.
Woo! Here we go.
Is that why you're wearing your Cleveland Browns pullover?
I am. That's also why I came in today.
Now that you're feeling better.
So
now that I'm feeling
celebrate.
Good.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, that's good they won.
Did you watch the full game?
I watched the whole thing. I really wanted us to.
Minute?
Yeah, I wanted us to pull away in the second half, but we just never did.
Yeah.
So I had to
it's hard to pull away when everybody's injured.
Exactly.
And your quarterback is Case Keenum.
Yeah, but I was pretty happy with the performance. Overall, we won, so that's all that really matters. Beating the Broncos team on a short week, kind of banged up a little bit, but we came out with the victory, so I'm a happy boy.
I want to tell you, remember how you told me, so the Browns running backs, their top two, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, not in that order, were both injured for last night, and I was talking to Isaiah earlier this week, and you told me the next guy up was Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, buddy!
I've never heard of him before, and I'm a football fan, but you said he's pretty good.
He is.
He's played a few snaps. He's pretty good. So I put him on a DraftKings free thing.
Oh, man.
And read it and weep. I won $1.31 because of you. Hey!
Oh, buddy. I told you I had so much faith in him. Yes, a whole dollar.
Hey, I didn't spend any dollars, so...
So
$1.31 saved is $1.31 earned.
That's true.
I had so much faith in him, and if you didn't watch the game last night, he pretty much carried the Browns to a victory. I had so much faith in him that I even started him in my fantasy league. That's how much faith I had.
So you might win some cash off of it as well.
I'm hoping so, baby. I'm hoping so. But it was overall, it was a good start to a good football weekend. This weekend doesn't look great for college.
I was going to ask if
NFL.
you have any definitely college. It's going to be rough trying to find something to watch.
And you just
tomorrow.
mean because there's not any amazing.
Yeah, no good
matchups. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any upsets perhaps in mind that you think could happen?
It's really
Who's
tough.
going down?
The only games that I look at and see anything this week that seems interesting is like Oklahoma State and Iowa State play. Iowa State's always good for like one upset a year.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State's sitting at number 8 right now, and I don't really see them as a strong number 8. So that's about the only thing really in the top 10 that I'm seeing as a possible good game. I mean, Ohio State plays Indiana Saturday night. It's a night game.
Upset alert.
That's Indiana was solid last year, but they've really fallen off this year. So outside of that, there's no big games. Typically, a big game would be Notre Dame and USC. Notre Dame sitting at number 13, but USC just is so average the past couple seasons. So it would be it'd be a great game like 30 years ago, but right now, not really.
Oh, that's hard.
I know.
Nikki, do you have anything you're looking forward to in the football weekend?
I guess not. Isaiah and I were talking the other day about this new dip I got at Aldi.
Yes.
For
There you go.
So I'm going to watch the Buckeye game on Saturday night, and we're having chips and dip.
There
Yes.
you go. There you go. It doesn't matter how good the games are if you got good dip to go with them.
I told Nikki, I was like, yeah, Ohio State plays a night game on Saturday. She was like, oh, that means I get to make a dip. I was like, yeah, buddy.
It's queso time.
I know.
Ooh, so are we all invited?
What? I'm sorry, what?
She said, what?
Is there enough to go around?
It's a small jar.
Okay.
So it's not a lot.
If it's
I
a
only
jar,
bought
why don't
4
you just
of
go only about 4? One per person.
I only bought
It's
4
perfect.
of them.
One for each of us.
No, if you go to Aldi, though, it's a really good queso. It's only $1 per jar.
What?
It's really good.
I
It's
might
super,
stop into
super
Aldi.
good.
I might stop in. That sounds really nice.
So that's how I'll celebrate football. So to me, I'm really in it just for the fun.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how boring the matchups might be.
The food makes it fun.
Yes, it does.
All right. Hey, we can all learn something from that.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We were just talking about watching football this weekend and what really we like to do when we watch any kind of sports or even when we're not watching sports is eat.
Well, on the weekend, you want to have a real fun thing.
Yeah.
and they're like, don't celebrate with food. You're like, what?
You gotta let loose is what you
Yep.
gotta do.
Yep.
And especially now that we're trying to do it right during the week, right? We're trying to be more conscious.
Hudson and I are making a pointed effort to not eat out during the week.
Yes.
Not have fast food. And instead, because really, if we did eat out during the week, it's fast food.
Yeah.
It's not like we go out and eat like, hey, I'm going
No.
to an actual restaurant.
No, we don't go to a steakhouse.
Not happening.
No.
So instead, you celebrate on the weekends or
Yep.
you eat out then, and we eat what we have during the week and just eat at home.
All right, real quick before we get to the matter at hand, I just want to let you know that yesterday I have a Swenson's gift card.
Yeah, did you?
I was going to go to Swenson's yesterday, and then I said, no, Thursday is during the week. Friday, all bets are off. Friday is the
So
weekend.
today is the day?
Today I can go to Swenson's. Yesterday it was a no-go.
But if not, I feel like some of it's like money and some of it's like we got to rein in the what we're doing during the week. So if you had a gift card, I think you could go and eat out during the week still
Yeah,
because
but-
you're not spending money.
I know, but that's not the point. I want to lose weight. And I think mildly cutting back my fast food intake,
You have to go all in.
at least putting some limits on it, is a good place to start.
Well, I don't know. Is this temptation then, or is this not?
I don't know if it is or not, but I wanted to know about your thoughts on this. It is called the Spooktoberfest Brat. You can find it at a Wisconsin meat market called Jennifer Street Market. It's in Madison, Wisconsin. What makes it Spooktoberfest?
Mm-hmm.
What makes it special? Well, it's pork, beer. It's a beer brat, and candy corn inside.
I wonder what that tastes like.
Well, they
Does
say
it melt in it? Do
that's
you
what they say.
taste
They say you
the
can
candy
see
corn?
if you look at it, you can see the candy corns that are up against the side, so you can like the side of the casing, so you can see they're in there.
the coloring of
But
it?
once you cook it, they really melt and kind of disperse throughout the entire brat. So they say the sweetness gets evenly spread out, and you don't get the texture of the candy corn, so you're really just getting some sugar in your brat.
I bet you it's pretty good. So it's salty and sweet. If you like brats, like I'm
Man, I
sure
love
this
brats.
I'm sure this is not bad.
I don't know.
Why don't you just go get some candy corns and shove them in there and cook them up and see what it's like?
Taste test?
Yeah.
I've never cased my own sausage before.
Okay, now that is the problem that I have with sausages and brats
It's
and
not
stuff.
the candy corn?
It's the casing.
It's not Satan's earwax?
No, it's the casing.
Why?
Because I don't know what it's supposed to be. Is it like the intestines?
No, that's old-fashioned. If it was the intestines, how could you see the candy corn through?
No, I think some of the casing, especially if you go to like these meat markets, like that's real places.
If it's old-fashioned style,
Yeah.
but if you're getting Johnsonville's or something,
What's in a brat casing?
now the truth is I don't know what the casing is instead.
Yeah.
But it's not intestines.
They're called, so natural casings are made from animal intestines or skin. And then artificial ones are collagen and cellulose or something else.
Well, that sounds healthy.
Guys, I just don't know. I don't like to think about it.
No, I don't like to think about it either.
Johnsonville brought ones. They say they use collagen casing derived from beef.
Okay.
And they use natural pork casing derived from the intestines. No.
Well, all right. So, Nikki.
It's from the body.
All right. So, we'll cut open the brat. We'll remove the casing for you. Well, I guess then it's just like sausage, like ground up, then
Stick
ground
in some
sausage.
candy corn and tell me what it's like.
So just eat some. So get some ground sausage and throw some candy corns in it. See what happens.
They tried to make some. They experiment with the brats there that they sell. They said other ones that they've tried, root beer ones, loaded baked potato brats. Those two did not end up working out well.
Really?
But the candy corn ones, they say, are pretty good.
I think the root beer sounds all right. Even the baked potato. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with sausage if you really want to try.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. The Riot, RadioU.
Well, I've got good news and bad news, Nikki.
What do we want to have first?
Which would you like first?
Why don't we just get the bad news out of the way?
Yeah? All right, let's do it. The bad news is, according to a new survey of 2,000 Americans, that Americans feel the most stressed in their lives at the age of 36.
Oh, that's the age they say?
Yes. So
I wonder why.
I see that as bad news because it means for most of us, the worst is ahead of us. Like you think you're stressed today, just wait till you're 36. It's going to be even worse somehow.
Well, then what do they say for the good news?
The good news is that this same survey said that about 2/3 of people feel that they're better at handling stress now as opposed to 10 years ago.
Oh, so then by the time you hit 36, then maybe you'll be able to handle it well.
You may be more stressed, but you'll be better at handling the stress. So that's the good news there.
That's a nice way to put that.
Yeah, what they also found in this survey is that people have found the more positive ways of dealing with stress is shifting from reactive to proactive management of stress. In other words, you don't do things like you're getting stressed out and so you start drinking or start eating junk food, because that's what some people say they do. Instead, you start alleviating your stress before it actually starts to take place. Is kind of what they were suggesting.
They say you can alleviate stress. Some of the more common, more popular forms are listening to music, which is a good thing you're here at RadioU, which we're interrupting, I guess, the music.
Are we stressing you out right now?
No, I'm so sorry.
Is hearing this survey about stress stressing you out?
And then exercise, who wants that? At 40%. Watching movies or television, 35%. Natural remedies and supplements is at 28%.
Yeah, so I guess the thinking is, and I guess we all should maybe know this in a way, but instead of trying to, you get in a stressful situation, stuff is piling up in your life, and so you start trying to cope by doing, again, drinking or eating junk food, eating fast food. Instead, you do these things routinely as exercising and listening to music that will help calm you generally, and therefore bringing down your stress levels overall. So I like that.
If you don't know if you're stressed, I don't know how no one would know that.
Yeah.
But if you don't, they say some of the most notable effects on your health to kind of show that maybe you're stressed. It hits your sleep the most at 50%, headaches at 45%, food cravings at 38%, and brain fog at 34%.
I wonder when they talk about sleep, if that means having a harder time sleeping, or easier time sleeping. You know what I mean?
It's harder. It's a harder time because they said, watch movies or television is a way to de-stress.
Yeah.
But then you can easily cross over because then they jump to the other side and say too much screen time.
Yeah, of course.
Like we're children, like we're babies, but we do have screen time problems. But they say that too much can actually stress you more at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Then that stress with too much screen time then makes you not sleep as well.
You may need the screen time may be helpful, but you also need time to unwind.
Yeah, you have to watch.
We've heard that a million times before.
And
one
then you
day,
eat.
One day it'll break through. One day we'll understand that I need to turn off my phone and TV an hour before bed. But I haven't reached that point yet. Well, I'm not 36 yet. Maybe that's when I'll finally understand.
You have until then. So the thing that stresses most people out the most is money at 52%. Family problems, high workload or demanding job. That's the stresses that most people face.
All right. So here we go. We've given you some tools for you to disregard completely.
Hudson sees the glass as half empty. But get this. He thinks a glass half empty is good. The Riot. RadioU.
New survey that's out that says your most stressful time in life is when you're 36 on average for an American, and all the numbers that go around with that of how people manage stress and everything. Chris texted in. He said the average lifespan in the U.S. is 78. So that means that basically you're having a midlife crisis.
Oh, and you get to 30,
with all the stress.
Yeah, 36.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Well, a lot of people have asked for the link for the stress article.
Yeah.
So if you want me to send it to you, just text us at 877-2-RADIO. You can read up at your leisure this weekend.
Yeah.
It has some good tips about de-stressing.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Kind of catching some of that ahead of time.
Yeah, for sure. And I was thinking about it too. And with stress, I feel so much of it is like sometimes we want to, with the music or with the TV or, whatever, we want to distract ourselves from the stress sometimes, or at least take your mind off of it. But it's also important to take time and actually think through your problems. I think a lot of times we don't, that's where it gets really uncomfortable, where you'll just sit in your room and I'm worried about money. And then you just worry about it. But there's a difference between worrying about it and thinking about the solution. And there's also a difference between taking it a step further than that, from just sitting there and thinking about it and letting Jesus think about it. Seriously, if you're lying in bed, tossing and turning at night, thinking about your problems, that kind of feeds on itself in a way. But what you can do is start talking to God and say, hey, God, I've got this problem I'm dealing with, and I don't have the solution, and I'm really worried about it. And what's great is God does have the solution. Jesus sees your problems that you're dealing with, and he is able to help. And so when you're spinning through the problems in your mind, or when you're trying to distract yourself from the problems, that doesn't make them go away. But what God can do is actually, he'll think about the problems for you. It's a whole, adding another meeting of the minds to the situation, but you're adding the best mind there is.
Well, you hear a lot of people throw around the term giving your problems to God.
Yeah.
And at first you're well, wait, how do I, he's there, what do you do? But it actually means you're giving the worry about the problem.
Yeah, so
you don't have to.
It's a way of just saying, you know what? As much as I may try, I don't have the answer to this on my own. And so I can keep worrying about it all I want. It's not going to change anything. But when you start talking to God, and when you let God deal with the problems for you, it totally changes how you have to handle it. So Jesus is there, and he's ready to handle that for you. And in those times where you're tossing and turning in bed, instead of just lying there staring at the ceiling, or rolling over or whatever, thinking I don't know what to do, take that time and say, hey, God, I need help with this. Jesus, I'm going through a lot. I've got stuff that's stressing me out. I don't know how to handle it on my own, so I want you to handle it for me. And start talking to God, and let him in that moment talk to you as well. And it'll make a difference, man. It really will. Give it a shot and see what happens. If you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift too. That's a great place to start.
When the stress is stressing you out. That's the worst.
The circle of stress.
It's the worstest part of it.
You got to break out of it.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah, I almost forgot to talk to you about this, but my wife was thinking of you.
Hudson, I knew this time would come.
My wife had you on her mind because I don't know if you have a Kroger card.
I do, of
You
course.
do?
Yes, I love
Have you
Kroger.
seen the weekly deals at Kroger this week? You know how they do the weekly specials if you go in on the weekend?
I haven't seen them, but I'm intrigued.
She said she saw that one of the weekly deals at the Kroger's this week is you can get the microwave pizzas.
Oh, yes.
Like the French bread ones or which ones?
No,
Like the Kroger ones?
The little circle ones
circle
that come
ones.
with the tray.
Yes. Those are the best. I swear those are the best. The little square pepperonis on them. Oh, my gosh.
Are they on sale?
88 cents.
Oh, my gosh.
First off, do you remember, was it yesterday we were talking about things when you were younger that seemed fancier?
Yeah.
Yes.
I totally think those pizzas.
Those
kinda
little pizzas. The party pizza, baby. Oh, man.
'Cause
The
you're like-
single server.
You treated it like putting it on that tray was almost like putting it in the oven.
Yeah, literally the little crisper. It's like, oh, yeah, there's the crisper on there that you set it on. Man,
Hey.
that is a deal.
So you eat those? I thought you just liked the tombstone.
I like the
No.
tombstone, but those ones, those are so good. Like just the little self-serve. I ate so many of those in college. It's unreal.
I wonder how many. I don't know what the buying limit is, but
How many
go
you can
crazy.
buy?
Yeah, what they do limit you. 88 cents.
That's incredible. I mean, I don't know if there's a better deal in the store.
I think there is.
I don't know if there is. Like just based off of pure taste alone.
Well,
I
I
just
that's a
wanna
darn
tell
good
you
deal.
She didn't point this out to me, but I noticed because I went to the Kroger's. One of the other weekly deals, also 88 cents, milk.
No.
Yes, I
That's
swear to
his
you.
two
No
favorite
way.
foods.
I can spend $20 and be stocked up for like a week and a half, 2
right?
weeks.
But you have to notice that if something can be on sale, they're never making a sale go lower than what the price it was to make it.
Yeah.
So that shows you for these individual pizzas, the markup price must
It
be
has to
crazy.
they have to be like 10 cents.
because, I don't even know if it's that.
Yeah,
it might
I know,
be less
right?
than that.
That's
'cause
true.
And
there's
it's
not
all
a
the
lot to
tray.
it.
It's not the pizza part.
Yeah, it's actually the container. It's not even the pepperonis.
Well, if you see Isaiah go to a local grocery store and you're like, who's that man with
With all those pizzas.
20 pizzas and 20 gallons of milk? It's him.
It's me.
I know that, again, since there is going to be a buying limit, you can only use the deal for so many of the pizzas. Would you like us to pick up a bunch for you?
I think what we need to do is we just need to stock up the fridge here at Radio U, and we can just have them every day. It's like a little party, all three of us.
Oh my gosh! It's not. You're going to be the only one eating them.
No,
Nikki and I will not stoop that low.
When you guys taste that to your lips, I mean, I'm telling you, you're gonna love it.
No, I've had those and not good.
No way.
Not good.
I can't wait to
Listen.
make them for you.
Listen, we can't throw stones in this glass house of ours because we all have
Yes.
weird things that we eat. And if it's
Sure we
affordable,
do.
then that's fine.
88 cents, you literally can't beat it. Now the trick of it is you don't like put it in the oven either. I mean, it's the microwave.
Well,
you put it
yeah.
straight in the microwave for 3 minutes and you're good to go.
No, you should try it in an air fryer. Because
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
everybody bought air fryers, so
Can you-
I do have an air fryer.
that's all we can do.
But can you put the little tray in the air fryer?
Yeah, I know.
You can, yeah.
You
toss
can
it in
put the
there.
tray in the air fryer.
I'm sure you can.
You can put foil. It's just foil, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just foil.
Wow. Okay.
In fact, okay, here's a little life hack. You're like, where have we gone to, guys? Put a little foil on the bottom of your air fryer, and you never have to clean it out because you
That's-
put the
yes.
stuff on there.
Well, then why don't they just come that way?
Because they want you to ruin it and buy a new one.
Exactly.
That's how my air fryer is. It's so
Well,
gross.
we're excited for you, Isaiah, that there's a pizza sale
We are.
going on.
I
and
didn't
milk
want
is
you to
on
miss
sale
out on
too.
that.
I can't wait for our meals together next week, guys. It's gonna be so great. I'll you know what? I'll handle the cooking for next week. For Monday, I'll make everybody lunch. You're gonna love
Oh
it.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well,
It's like you take next week, and if we alternate, I don't want to get Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
coming soon to Netflix, their most expensive movie ever.
So they want you to be done with Squid Game by then.
It's time to move on.
Move on to the next thing, and this is all them.
They exponentially watch as much of this movie. Well, let's put it this way.
To count as a view.
They spent $20 million ish on making Squid Game.
Yeah.
They spent up to $200 million potentially on this movie, Red Notice.
So they're saying Red Notice.
They want you to watch this 10 times as much as you watch Squid Game because it's 10 times more expensive.
It is the most expensive Netflix movie that they made, bought, purchased,
Right.
had.
Yes. It's called Red Notice. It will be on Netflix November 12th. It stars The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, who just recently announced he's taking a sabbatical from acting. Did anybody else go, okay?
You weren't upset about that?
No, it was like, take as much time as you need. And then and Gal Gadot is in this one as well.
Sure.
So they just put out the trailer today. Nikki and I both just watched it. Nikki, reaction. What do you think? Is it worth the $200 million?
I think none of this is an offense. So if you like anybody, please, that's great. We all enjoy different actors. But I really feel like Ryan Reynolds is kind of overhyped. And I don't like a lot of his stuff. I'm looking at you, Six Underground, because I could only make through like the first 20 minutes. I just don't like his acting style.
Yeah.
For Dwayne Johnson, I've liked a couple of his movies, but then I also feel like he's overhyped. And then for Gal Gadot, I've only seen the Wonder Woman one, so I don't really know too much about the rest of her style.
Yeah.
So it feels like we're paying for some names here that maybe aren't as motivating to me. It looks like every other cliche sort of movie.
No, I totally...
Same soundtrack, same lines.
If you swap this out and just said it's not from Netflix, it's from whatever other company and it's coming to theaters, it wouldn't be exciting.
No,
I mean, it would be,
so.
It doesn't look all that different. It just looks like a rock movie. It just looks like, what was that one where he was jumping off the skyscraper? Skyscraper? Is that what it was called?
I think that is.
It feels like it could just as easily be Skyscraper, which probably made some money. But was anybody excited about? Is anybody still now being like, "Oh, Skyscraper"?
But listen, come November 12th when it's on Netflix, I might just be low enough.
Well, yeah, that's the difference, right?
That.
That's the difference. When that's the exact type of movie I feel that Dwayne Johnson makes most of the time. Some of his are a little better, but most of the time, it's just like the kind of movie you would flip on. Back in the days when you used to have cable, it would be the type of movie, if you were flipping through, you've never seen it, and it's on TBS, you'd be like, okay, I guess there's nothing else on, but it's not something you're getting excited about.
There's a reason why it's November 12th, because they want to get you before Thanksgiving and Christmas gets too busy.
Yep.
So that is going to be in select theaters on November 5th. They do that so it can be a part of award seasons.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know how many theaters or like if it's a lot of cities.
A lot of times when it's just like Los Angeles and New York.
Just
to
few.
Qualify, because some people will come out and see it there, and then it qualifies. But, maybe they're thinking November 12th, to get you just in time so that for Thanksgiving, that's what you've got to talk about with the family. Everybody,
Wow.
it's around the Thanksgiving dinner table. Everybody, we're not getting into arguments about politics or anything like that.
Instead, you're talking about this.
Everybody says, "Hey, did you catch that new Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds movie? It's really great."
Well, if
on
you
Netflix,
if you have to, you
worth
have
every
to.
penny.
Yeah, worth every penny. I saw it in theaters.
Do you feel that it's not that you want to watch it, it's just you feel like a necessity to watch it just to get your money's worth out of your Netflix?
I don't
It's like,
know.
this is what they're spending my subscription money on, so I'd better watch it.
I go through phases with Netflix where, I've had it for so long that there's some months I won't even watch a thing on it.
Yeah.
And then other months I'll go and actually try to get through some stuff. I don't know how I'll feel then. We'll see. November 12th. Let's all figure it out that morning. Don't think about it until then.
You don't have to plan ahead. It's going to be on Netflix. Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I guess I might be getting this from two sides here, but I brought Isaiah. You're a native Ohioan, right?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Nikki?
Yeah.
You're also born and raised Ohio? Okay. I've brought you both here today.
Hudson is not.
No, I'm not. Born in Canada, raised in Maryland. So I've nothing to do with Ohio originally. But I want you to answer for your state's issues. And the issue is pertaining to, or at least it comes up, it's drummed up in my mind because of this new license plate.
Yeah.
They revealed a new state license plate. Is this just for everybody?
For Ohio, yeah, it'd be.
Like, this is the standard one.
I think so. Like, you're not paying extra for this.
How exciting. I want the new one.
Gonna get a refresh there.
I know.
So it is it has a corn field or some kind of field. I guess it's not corn. Some kind.
Is that wheat?
Yeah,
It looks like wheat,
I don't know.
yes.
It could be anything. It's got a river. It's got a trees, a nice sunrise or sunset.
Beautiful place.
The skyline of some of Ohio cities. And then at the top, it says, birthplace of aviation. It's got a little banner that seems to be attached to a plane. Mm-hmm. They unveiled the license plate at a press conference, and then people were complaining. People were complaining because the plane is flying in the wrong direction. And what they mean by that is the way they had designed it, it looks technically like the banner is flying from the front of the plane, which doesn't make any sense, of course.
Well, in this old plane, for I don't want to sound stupid with all the technical stuff with it, so we'll just tell you that with how the plane looks, it looks correct.
Yeah.
To anyone who didn't know, but for this plane, the back of the plane that you think would be the back actually goes in the front. Mm-hmm. So they had it coming out the wrong side of it for the banner waving in the sky, and everybody called them on that.
Yeah, so that is what the public, or at least the really plane expertise public.
Dude, they were so excited to have something.
Yeah,
I know.
That's wrong.
You're like, no, that's not right. But listen here. I would take the ones that are messed up. If you're going to give me a new one, I'll take it for free. Give me the messed up one. I'll slap it on the back.
It's a collector's item.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, baby.
Okay,
the messed up run looks correct, though, if you don't realize
Yeah, you would never know.
You see the new revised version that is technically correct, and it looks backwards.
It looks like it's flying into the Ohio.
Yeah.
And they say
crash.
it was an easy mistake, and they're calling it a teachable moment.
Yeah.
But someone
sure
did not.
it is.
Someone got fired.
Someone made a mistake.
But here is the issue that I've had with Ohio for a long time, and I want you two to answer for
Watch
it
your words.
as native
Watch your words
Ohioans.
here.
Why does Ohio think it can call itself the birthplace of aviation?
I need to look that up.
What do you mean?
So
why?
You've lived
because
here your whole life.
The Wright brothers.
They were born here,
They're
right?
here.
Okay.
They're from here.
They're born here.
Yes.
They didn't fly here.
That doesn't matter. They were born here.
Okay.
But they are aviation, and they're the birthplace of them.
No, because, the first plane flew, we all know this, right? Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
Yes, we do know it.
That is as if a baby is coming out of the birth canal. The plane flew out of the birth canal.
Oh, my gosh.
In Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. That is the birthplace of aviation.
No.
If the Wright brothers were born here in Ohio and they did their all their meeting of the minds where they designed all the plans and whatever, you know what that's like? That's like when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. Ohio is the conception of aviation, although I don't even know if you could say that because other people have thought about aviating before.
Sure.
But the Wright brothers drew up the plans.
Well,
They also created the plane. The plane was built in Ohio.
Okay.
They took it to North Carolina.
It was, again, conceived in
Yes.
Ohio.
Like, I'm from Ohio.
It was in the mommy's belly in Ohio.
Also
and then
born.
It was birthed
No.
in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
It was created here in Ohio.
Yes,
It's like if
it
I
was
moved.
conceived.
It's like if I moved to Indiana or something and then I did something cool there, I would still be from Ohio, but I did something cool in Indiana.
now, Hudson, I think every state deserves to have something, and maybe Ohio couldn't find anything else.
Yeah, it's our thing.
that's what I
Jeez.
wanted.
You can't take away our thing. North Carolina has a beach. They already have enough. What do we have here? We have planes.
I will
You
tell
guys,
you that.
what? Come on, have some state pride in something that actually happens here.
Now, I'll tell you this. In 2003, Congress said that Ohio is the birthplace of aviation.
Congress is wrong.
Over North Carolina.
Hold on, guys.
Because the Wright brothers were born in Dayton, so that's why they're credited with it, and that's what they get.
well,
Where
Congress
was
knows.
the Wright brothers' grandparents born? Because then you could say that's the birthplace of aviation. What if they were born in Indiana and then they gave way to the Wright brothers and the Wright brothers gave way to the plane? That's not how it works.
That
this
is how
is
it
like
works. It's literally how it works.
it's like okay, if I was my parents lived in Maryland, but they were in a Pennsylvania hospital when I was born.
Sure.
I'm born in Pennsylvania. I'm not born in Maryland. The Wright brothers, the hospital is in North Carolina.
No.
That's where the plane.
That plane was built here. It was built here.
Shh, everybody calm down. It's Friday. Let's go into the weekend a little calmer. But Todd had a good point. He said the Wright brothers did all their research here and did all this stuff. So they're saying the birth of all that thing led to it. So I think we're just going to agree to disagree.
I also
In North Carolina, their plate, Jeff says first in flight.
Yeah, it's good for them. Good for them.
Where they because that's where the first flight was.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a second place medal. It's cool.
Where flight was birthed.
Okay, we're just going to disagree on this. It's okay.
It's okay.
I don't care either way.
It drives me crazy. It really does.
It's okay.
It flies me crazy is what it does.
I just want the license plate. That's all I really want.
All
Just
right.
give me the new one, baby.
I don't want the license plate out of boycott.
Oh,
I'm going to get a Sharpie.
I'll
I'm going to
take
scrub
Hudson's.
that out.
I'll take Hudson's.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.